Hello and welcome to Stephen Allen Almost Daily. I'm Stephen Allen. Let's get rid of those front pages. And this is a day. What more could you possibly want? Hello and welcome to your Friday. Got the coffee on the go already? ASMR. Welcome along to the Friday live and loose. Welcome to Friday Live and Loose with me, Stephen Allen. I say that because today is a Friday, so we're less prepared, we're live, we're also loose.
Friday, live and loose.
Don't worry, we don't play a jingle every single time I say live and loose.
Friday, live and loose.
ASMR. The Friday version, it's less prepared, but we'll just do some chit-chats. We're making our way through the news. If you'd like to get involved, we have a comment section, of course. Let's have a look what's going on in the old comment. YouTube.com/@Mr. Stephen Allen. Don't worry, by the way, today is one where we will be done by 1 because clearly someone else is ill or something. They've asked me to do talk radio again, so we'll be doing that. Let's have a look, see what's going on here. Joodles was first. The winner takes it all. The PM standing small. Oh, proper memes. You just got proper memes not even here. You got it. Last night's late night. Do you in? No ukulele today. Don't worry. But it is Friday. Yay. No ukulele, but we do have keyboard on the go. Wrong chord. But there's no camera. There's no keyboard camera today. I've still got around to fixing that. I've been busy. The lad's better, by the way. I think you're basically up to date. Who else is here? Ems is here. Morning release. So, no, that sounds... I meant it as a prison insult rather than anything too dodgy. Who else is here? Streaky Bacon. I do read out all of the comments, so if this is private chat between you, I'm reading out. Hey, Noodles, why did you leave me in that place? When you and Cuffy went, it lost half its humour. Commiserations on last night, by the way. At least our teams get to play for nothing on Sunday. Oh, is this football chat? This is why I can't join in. This is all conversations I ever have seemed to have with other men. Football, huh? There you go. That was me bonding with other dads at the school gate. There are no other dads, but do you know what? At some point, I'll do more of a rant about this. But being a dad at a school gate, it's still not as common as it should be, right? And the mums really just close off. They circle the wagons. They don't even say hi. There's a bit where they hold the gate open for each other. Not for me, even though I'm pushing like the pushchair with my young daughter in it after dropping the kid off at the nursery, the son off at the nursery. The mums are just like, screw the men. So it's, I don't know, hormones. I think it's me shouting hormones as I walk out of there. Probably turns them off. Looking after the ex's cat for 10 days, says Joodles. Hopefully you're on good terms, otherwise that cat, not looking good. Men can be appalling at communication. Hang on, let's go over. Wagwan. He's just let me know I shouldn't have given her the full tin. Oh, I see. Oh, so you're You've done the cat in. I told you. And I predicted it, didn't I? Let's have a look. Hi ho, Kermit's here. Let's not make this sexist. No, let's not make that bit sexist. Don't worry. There will be sexist things in the show. Just not that. I think shouting hormones at mums at school gates, that might have been it. So I think we've already ticked that off. We're up and running already. Who else we got? Streaky Bacon says... no, I saw there was a compliment to me. So Steve wore a splendid suit on GB News Wednesday night. Real dapper. Why, thank you. And at some point when I do trim... Ding dong. I'm going to see if that's what gets ladies going. What's this going on over here? Sorry I'm late, says Charlotte. I've been dusting this morning. I've got... The shed's quite dusty, by the way. Cup of Kofi on the go, says Proper. Oh, he Proper Means just turns up. Even after Charlotte, and she did the dusting. No keyboard cam. There's no keyboard cam. Sorry. How's Alien Minor? Yeah, it's sad. Sad time. I know it's kind of funny, but I'm a romantic fool. Good afternoon, Steve, says Sebastian. How have you been doing this week? I've been all right. I've been the little lad being ill, and I think the daughter was ill before it because I don't know if I told you the story. We had a squits in the middle of the night issue. Not mine. I know where to aim. Steve, says Kermit. Hang on, what's this one? It's okay, Steve. You won't hear football chat from me. What? Not the football and the good goals this season. Well, I can do it. I can blend in. I'm manly. Streaky Bacon says, I shall not utter any footy stuff. Good. Non-stick Nick's here. Hello, all. Hello. A Minor was ill, but better today. He was. My job is very jobby. But everything I touch is plumb. I find a way. And knowing I'll be back and that could be tough day. Streaky says, Nina Mishkov looked as pretty as a pink rose with a face like she'd choose the... Oh, steady on. Ding dong. Steady on, old boy. Alan Fox is here. Weekend starts here. Never mind the ukulele double entendre. You can play a tune on the old piano or violin. I cannot play either, if I'm brutally honest, but I do own one. I don't normally talk football, but Roy Hodgson appointed temp Bristol City manager. Yeah. And it can be very difficult when you're temping. I do feel sorry for him. Is that the hot take on that stuff? I don't know. Let's get into the front pages. Fronty pages. We saw a sneak peek of one of them. The Times has a couple of stories here that we could get stuck into. I think maybe just the Mandelson one seems to be the best bet, doesn't it? Mandelson not asked for messages from personal phone. So the saga continues. Peter Mandelson might have had some important messages on his phone, and somehow gone missing. Was stolen. No, not his phone. The Sabrina Johnson, whatever her name is, Sydney McSweeney. That's it. Sydney McSweeney had a phone, and not Sabrina Carpenter. Sabrina Johnson was the Boys. That one. Is that right? If someone would like to Google this for me, that'd be great. So a phone went missing that might have some dodgy pictures. But Mandelson was not asked for messages from his personal phone. Look, some people might be saying it's all very convenient, isn't it, that somehow a phone goes missing where there might be damning information on it. And people have said that about the perfectly above-board thing with Boris Johnson doing a factory reset on his phone. In the same way that, if someone takes their laptop in to be repaired and magically the hard drive has been thoroughly scraped, that's fine. That's what happens. Of course, somehow you look on a hard drive and the only thing that's left on there is one folder called, Adobe Audition sessions, and there's a couple of versions of You Want to Be in My Gang. That's because everyone loves to do a bit of music, and there's nothing in the pictures. That's fine. Rebecca Vardy, she lost her phone to the North Sea, which is a shame because that would have been apposite information for the trial that she was doing. It's just such how unfortunate. But I will defend Peter Mandelson here, and not just for the money that I've asked for. Mandelson not asked for messages from personal phone. If you knew there was a personal phone that very possibly included the picture of him in his Y-fronts, you won't want that. No. Do you want to see my messages? No. But there might be important stuff. Yeah, we'll find another way around. It'll blow over at some point. No. So I think we can give a lot of space there. The Daily Mail goes with Reeves is the real petrol profiteer. We'll talk about that in a bit. I've got some maths on it. But this, at the top of the Daily Mail, after 40 blissful years, my husband had a stroke, so I divorced him. I think I can correct that headline for you. There you go. You're not getting paid by the word. Just cut to the chase. Till death as do part. Oh, no, because he's not dead. So she's got him on a technicality there. The sickness and health thing, not so much. But you know what? That's half a win, isn't it? I think he's better off. Let's have a look then. Should we look at this? Who put sanctimony in a front page? Our tax-hungry chancellor accused fuel giants of cashing in. But yeah, here's the deal, right? There's been absolutely no evidence of price gouging, whatever that be. But still, and we covered, I think we were an early adopter on this show. There was the meeting of the petrol bosses, and we said it was just for show, wasn't it? It's to make it look like you got some baddies. Oh, let's demand them together and say, you petrol bosses, you better not be affecting this economy. And as we said before, they will be like spitting up. What's affecting the economy? It would be hilarious for them. And there's no evidence that they've done it. But of course, it's the government's own fault for raising this issue of like who benefits when petrol prices go up, because they do. Duty, VAT, these things, right? If your petrol price goes up, the amount you take in from that as a percent, because your duty and your VATs are percentages. A percentage of a larger number is a larger number. I said there'd be some maths. That's not really maths, isn't it? If you're the kind of person who can breathe and not dribble, you are nailing this maths, right? So why not, and I'm just throwing this out there, reduce the amount temporarily, reduce the duty so you are taking in the same amount of money that you budgeted for, all right? So you'd reduce the duty and the VAT, but the absolute figure you're taking in would still be the one that you expected, and you can load it up going, you know what we're doing? We're absolutely saving your ass. We're going to lower duty and VAT. You're welcome. Smug it up. I would willingly watch these people be so smug if I went down the petrol station and it were a bit cheaper. Why do they never listen to me on these issues? Because they're not salmons. Or they are salmons. I don't know what we use as an insult on the show anymore. Let's take a break for some more comments. It's all going off in here, isn't it? Evening, says Chris. How long have I been on? Christ, who's calling? Hang on, sorry, bear with. Got messages. Oh, someone's told me they've paid me for a gig. I suddenly stopped complaining. Glad your kids are on the mend, says Alan. Not keen on footy. Never mind the school gate. I heart everyone on GB News. Mike Graham's ex-Talk TV. Yeah. Well, no, he said he was hacked, but I'd throw mine away as well. Streaky Bacon says, yes, that was Sabrina with a video no man can forget about, Steve. Well, I clearly did. Boys. Is your small guitar foreign or ukulele? I like that more than I should. Who is that Angela Rayner impersonator? No, I think it's actually her. That's the worrying thing. They said it was stolen months before. Turns out it was a week after them deciding how to handle it. Seems perfectly legit. Hi-ho, Kermit. It's not often we agree on anything, including chords. But I'm with you. He seems totally above board. It is simply a coincidence that damning evidence is somewhat stolen and no one ever really calls the police about the theft. Yeah. Can't see a thing wrong with that. Joodles, I'm glad we're all in agreement on this. It is simply a coincidence that when something nefarious happens to the Dark Lord, the Prince of Darkness, whatever he was called, when someone has that nickname, just bad stuff happens to them. It's fine, isn't it? It's cheaper to run a car on vodka, says Streaky Bacon. Don't drink and drive. Why is the fail screaming about massive... The original one was that, but I think it says the same. It's a give or take, isn't it? It's the same with energy prices. Oh, we suddenly found extra money to fund nonsense nobody else wants. Yes. My theory, Kermit, is that it goes more than that. We've got the highest energy prices. I think it's because that way, whatever the companies can keep the price massively high, the duty and VAT and all those other ones, percentages put on top, are raking in more money for the government. And I've said this in Talk TV studios and GB News studios, surrounded by people you would presume are a little bit labile to the idea of a government conspiracy theorist. And everyone just looks at me like, nah, seems a bit far-fetched. Doesn't it? Then why have we got the most expensive energy prices in Europe? Can't be the euro. Back into more front pages while we're here. Why not? What's this one? This one. Shedpreneurs. The shed entrepreneurs and shed. It doesn't really work as a portmanteau, does it? But anyway, the shedpreneurs. This really feels like you want to say pruners. Because that's what most people keep in their sheds, but that's not where this story is going. The shedpreneurs making thousands in their gardens. Well, as you may well know if you've watched this show before, my home studio is the garden room built at the end of the garden. Just move that microphone out of the way. This is where we do the voiceovers. This is where we do the live streams, the shows and everything. And look, it's soundproofed. We've got extra thickness on the walls are about just shy of a foot thick to deaden this thing. The ceiling is sloped. This is a high quality broadcast studio. And I am not making thousands. Thanks, the Daily Telegraph. Making me feel bad about my shed. What do you know about sheds, you stupid Telegraph? You're just named after a dumb pole in a shed. We'll move on. Jules says, shedtrepreneur and Alan. Yeah, it makes no sense, and it's making less sense. Shedpreneur, says Proper Memes. I've tried it, and that didn't make me thousands either. Sabrina who, says Alan. Sabrina Johnson. Ray, don't know where is her husband. Bonnie Tyler was lost in France. Couldn't find a way either. Yeah. That one about I don't know where my husband is. Probably down the pub. I've heard that song. We play that on All Hits Radio. I'm moving away from this Telegraph. Making me feel bad about my shed. 1 hour is your lot, tots. Limit screen time for under fives, warns PM. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Why is this becoming this controversial issue? Yeah, you know it, though, don't you? You know it. You see those kids who spend all of their time on screens and they are just already socially dysfunctional. Kids are kind of already socially dysfunctional because they are psychopaths. They are. But no, I'm not throwing shade by calling someone a psychopath. Maybe I'm throwing shade. But their brains don't develop. The part of the brain that says do something develops quicker than the part of the brain that says don't do it, which makes me impressed that we've survived as a species. It kind of makes sense now when the adults are educated and they know what's going on. But back in the caveman days, when some toddler would have been like, I wonder what happens if I headbutt this tiger. Right, another kid gone. Torn off a strip. I've actually got a cutting, but we can deal with it here. We covered this on last night's show. Go back and watch it if you want to see last night's late night Stephen Allen Almost Daily After Dark about the fact that a genuine football strip, as in the kit, I know they call it a strip, but if anything, it's putting clothes on. I paid £100 of good money in that shop, and that is not what I expected. The more I think about it, the more the cashier, he wasn't really my type anyway. So it's not the end of the world, but still, trades descriptions. If that's what they offer for £100, that's flipping well what I expect. But now the idea is if you buy a fake one, they're made with bad chemicals. Yeah, but how bad? Well, if it were like 30 quid for the actual one, 10 quid for the rip-off one, don't do the rip-off one. 100 quid for the rip-off one, for the expensive one, you can wash off the chemicals later, can't you? Give it a rinse, give it a wash. Yeah. Or, and I think we covered this last night, don't dress up as a footballer. Gardenpreneurs was gardentrepreneurs. Flippin' hell, Martin. You've absolutely nailed it. Have you paid for that cream egg ad again just to rub Brit's nose in it? Here it is. Here it is. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. None of those mini egg rubbish things happening down there, Brit. £2.50. Bish, bash, bosh. Enjoy yourself a cream egg. I'll send one in the post. Warns Starmer. Well, he's somewhat I'd listen to on parenting. Absolutely anything else. Yeah. I'd listen to Keir Starmer about phone thefts as well. You try it. Nobody wants to watch more than 1 hour of kids on telly anyway, so yes, let's limit their screen time. I don't know, do you remember Ronnie Corbett with Kids Do the Funniest Things or whatever it was? Thank you for giving me a reason to do good evening. I don't know about you, but kids do the funniest things, Did you try storing your tins of beans upside down? Is this a euphemism for a testicular thing? I've not tried it, but now you've mentioned it. I've reached the age where I'll give anything a go once. Don't like my parenting advice. You wanted a war. It's well, you need to be prepared for war if you are raising children. Poor old Macca sounds a bit ropey now. Macca Bacca. But as someone who has to watch In the Night Garden, I see that headline, I just hear it as Macca Bacca. Not a reference everyone will get, but don't put that one on the list of impressions on the spreadsheet. I bought in bulk again, and I bought, the blue rolls of tissue that you get in pubs. It's not kitchen roll; it's just for wiping up spillages. But I've got 6 of them over there for like £3 it cost me. This is how you make money in the gardenpreneur sector. Chris Hood says, so tots can watch Live and Loose or Peppa Pig. Choose wisely, kids. Even I would recommend Peppa Pig. Don't let your kids anywhere near this guff. Today's show brought to you by S&P. Well, I nicked the mug. They deserve a little bit of advertising. ASMR. I put that over there on my I showed you my coaster, just in case I didn't know. The concept of, it's not even monogrammed, is it? The concept of like named guff as gifts is all very well, but I do know my own flipping. I know my parents had Alzheimer's, but I think I'm all right so far. He was defo on their level height-wise. You have The Apprentice. What about Shedprentice? Yes, we could work with that, Alan. Chewy Macabacca. Macabacca. Oh, no, I see back. Yeah. Iggle Piggle, how very dare you. Nonstick Nick says, Night Garden would send me to sleep, not my son. It's amazing. When the Pinky Ponk gets out, again, not what I expected. £3, says Proper Mean, for 6 rolls. From where? The back of a van. The internet. The probably were meant to be heading to a pub near you, but they're in here now. How did Throne Fests get censored? Which language is that rude in? Throne Fests. I prefer the Tombley Boos, Ems. You always have to split this audience, don't you? Why can't we all just get on? Brit's got a mini eggs. You like your Tombley Boos. Sit down, turn around, all that guff. And finally, UK faces triple shock of inflation, weak growth, and energy crunch, which sounds like a breakfast thing, but it's not. Do you know what? I was going to read out there and just rant about how bad things. It's a Friday. That's a bit much, isn't it? So let's get inside the news. Let's do it. Let's check out the news. Hang on. Ronnie Corbett's show, remember, try to have selective amnesia. Rip-off of Michael Aspel's Child's Play on ITV. Oh, don't pick on the old Corbett. Do you know what? I keep getting adverts on the internet for whichever coffee machine thing company it is that's not Nespresso with George Clooney. And Brad Pitt's doing the other one. Again, zero thinking happened in that meeting. Where DeLonghi that's whoever is the other one. I don't give 2 flips. Whoever makes coffee. So we're losing some market share to Nespresso and their George Clooney advert. What should we do? Oh no, let's get Brad Pitt. Derek Jacoby, says David, did the voiceover for In the Night Garden. I know. What? Imagine that level of quality. Although I am available if you want to do a spin-off. Brit says, £3, 6 rolls. Who gives a crap? Well, actually, can you? I don't crap in the shed. I might be a god entrepreneur, but I don't poop in the garden house, in the studio. It's not a poodio. Whatever. I don't know what we're doing. Inside the news. Welcome along, David. Nice to have you. This one. Cloned teacher vids hell. Teachers are being secretly filmed by pupils to make AI deep fake videos. Ugh. Do you remember back in the day when we had to learn to do an impression of the teachers you didn't like? This is what's happening. This is why AI is bad for us. Kids won't learn to rip the pee out of people they don't like. What a nice society we'll grow up in. That took a turn. I wanted to insult it. Let's move on before we end up being nice about it. That one's a Mandel song. I've already done it. Brit, if you're still with us. Some of this down here. Chop price rises a bit extreme. Easter treats up 60%. I'm just not good at reading out headlines. They don't make any sense. I need a verb or something. Easter, which feels like it could be a verb, but it's not. Egg prices have rocketed by an average 60% due to global cocoa crisis. And of course, global cocoa crisis is either your what three words or your favourite stripper. She's a big girl, but she's out of shape. For you, it's a full-time job. The price of a 5-pack of Cadbury creme eggs has soared 73%. Oof, what does it say about mini eggs if we read the whole thing? It doesn't, because no one likes mini eggs. Brit, bosh. Done it. The thing is, though, at some point, if the price keeps going up, I too am going to be one of you mini egg types. I'm going to be outpriced out of a full-size egg. Afternoon, Scotty, says hi, Kermit. What's happened here? Where's Scott? I don't see one. Streaky bacon, Cadbury's cream eggs, egg lollies are lush and on offer at Iceland. No wonder Mum's jogged on. First time joining you all, you can get 8 times sausage rolls for 99p at Aldi. How long have I got until I'm on Talk Radio? There is should have got Sean Bean, says hi-ho Kermit. I'm not Sean Coffee Bean. You're right. Seen Bean, Sean Bourne. Pick one. Hey up, Scott, says Joodles. But you could have read that on your own. How about this one? Lisa's Fall Hell. Ooh. Emmerdale actress, is she still in it? Lisa Riley had to have surgery after a bad fall caused by a cardigan. Now, look, I have sympathy for the lady, but I have to say, we joke a lot on this show about things that make you feel old. I think having a fall caused by a cardigan, tick, you're done. You're baked. You get out of the old oven because you are fully aged. You are like a fine wine. You old. Disco 2000 is the one that gets me. I rant about this on the radio a lot. Pulp, why did you have to put a number in it? Because that would still seem like a relatively recent song. And songs of that era, okay, I know it was a while ago, but they still sound quite modernish. And then they've put the date on it. In fact, worse than that, they put a futuristic date on it. What's it going to be like in this futuristic, mystical world of the year 2000, which is 26 years ago? I'm so old, I'm worried about falling over on cardigans. All right. You started this, not me. Things we're talking about, Pooh Brit. Pooh Brit, was that the John Wayne film? For dyslexics. Most Brits refuse to poo anywhere but in their own loo. I mean, mainly I've done one in the sink, but the one in the bed, but that's more of a neurovirus thing. It was barely even poo. But what's going on in this story? Some 84% of us only ever go for a number 2 in their own home. Research commissioned by Why Would You Bother Asking This Question is the name of the company. Many admit they would hold it for hours, even days, rather than use a public loo. Is that because of the state of the public loos? Or can you not just release the bum doors? You've got to be able to relax. No one ever talks about that, but you know when you're like downloading the Headspace app and you want to get into meditation, no one ever says you'll learn to gain the correct level of zen that you can release the trapdoors. I just nearly did then. That's how good I am at it. You just get a sense of self or something. Almost a third would never dream of going for a number 2 at work or at a friend's house. Don't do a number 2 around a friend's house. No. Back in my days, I try to find a euphemism that's not really offensive. Dating, that's the only one I can think of. That's the worst thing, isn't it? Out on a date, go for a meal. Don't go for a meal because the next thing you know, you're a belt size bigger than you should be. You need to do something about it. Do you want to stay over? No. No, I do not. Let's have a look. When you stop falling over and start having a fall, then you're feeling old. That is true. You know you're old when you have a fall, not just falling over, says Britt. Yep. You see this, but the cardigan is the cherry on top of her cake there, isn't it? Family Guy did a song about home bowl, says Chris, and Kermit says, if you fell over on the cardigan, you defo be losing your favourite game. Cardigans. Tune. Sense of smell. What are you talking about? Alan, when I watch I'm a Celebrity All-Stars later this year, never mind that Lisa Riley, what if Gemma Collins Gemma Collins lands on me? See her fall on Dancing on Ice. I would like to see next Christmas. Oh, you cheeky monkey. Now, right, I'm afraid we need to, I need to rant here. I need to rant. So, hang on. Here it comes.
Daily Rant.
This one. I'll tell you what's going on here. Murder accused Knox is a comic. Stand-up jokes on prison. Wrongly accused killer Amanda Knox is doing stand-up comedy as a way of finding the ability to laugh at the bad things that have happened. No, that's our thing. Just back up. Can someone just not do stand-up for once? Everyone has a crack at it. You are not ready for stand-up. We are the wrong thing. Write a book. Do some talking therapy. But the stand-up comedy, firstly, I'm trying to make a living out of it, right? Secondly, our nomenclature. If you do a good gig, someone will say, wow, that was really good. You killed. Do you want that when you walk off stage, Amanda Knox? We have other phrases like, that gig went so well, I really shook the baby on that one. Do you want that? Amanda Knox? Opportunity Knox? Do you want? I had such a great gig last night that I thoroughly went lesbian in prison. Is a phrase that isn't. All right. Okay. All right, what we got going on here? Daily rant shocker. It's about chocky eggs. No, it's not. The rant is about someone trying to take my job. I'd rather watch a show called Dancing on Thin Ice, says Non-Stick Nick. I think it depends. If you're Gemma Collins, every ice is thin ice. They're not laughing now. And at least she aged unlike Meredith. What? Yep. When she did the gig, she knocks it out of the park. Good point, Streaky. Last Christmas, you squashed my heart. The very next day, my life went away. Christ on a bike. Sometimes I worry that I might be the offensive one on this show, and then I realise. It's a mark. This is the big one. Let's get it out of the way. That. There we are. I hate the ones that are just too big to fit in the flip it. That. It was a close-up of something growing in space. A NASA astronaut broke the internet with a pic of a tentacled object growing on the International Space Station. Don Pettit, barely even touched it, left. Oh no, that's where his picture is. Took... Christ. It's not going well today, is it? Took a snap of the weird object, which he dubbed Spudnik. People are idiots. I think this is the story here. So this space dude, he took a picture of this. It's a potato. People are, not alien news. Exactly. It's not alien. The only thing I would say is that it's almost a selfie, isn't it? To be fair, and I'm not doing anti-bald humour for obvious reasons, but unidentified flying object. Get that out of the way. This is the next one that's a bit big. As soon as this is done, it's scraps of paper. It's a lot easier. Give us a rough translation. AI collar decodes barks. Not this again. Want to understand your dog better? Nope. But afraid you could be barking up the wrong tree. New AI-powered collar can apparently translate your mutt's utterances, as well as those of your cat, into human speech. Why? Because the dog's just going to be like, food, rough food, food. Because the dogs want food. If someone walks past the house, they probably want to eat them, so that's food. It's just food. The cat. You can have an AI, when AI gets really good, it could manage to decipher what cats say to the level of like thoroughly being able to put together the syntax of grammar, pass all of it, right? You could have all of that and the cat still wouldn't flip and speak to you because they don't like you. that's the end of that story, I think. Just if AI could actually decode small utterances, could we have it in relationships instead? I don't give two flips what the cat's saying. But if I say to the missus, "Are you okay?" and she says, "I'm fine," I'd love beep, boop, beep, 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 boop, and it actually tell me, rather than me have to flip in guess. Could we do that? Because I tell you what, a belly rub and a bone to play with does not cheer her up. That sentence went weird, didn't it? Proper memes. Meow. Meow. We've done all the vowel sounds there. Bog brush, says Joodles. There's a thing that should never be a thing, the most rank thing in the universe. Joodles, if you had a cat, if you had that, the cat could have told you not to feed it the whole tin. Meow. Brit says, nonetheless, the AI cat decoding color increases depression by 61%. Does it? Just because you know that the cats can't stand you. Like, sometimes I sit in front of the TV, or if I'm slouching somewhat, and especially one of our cats loves sitting on me. Like, it's her favourite thing to do. And I feel like, oh, this cat knows me in my heart, not just it knows me, that I'm actually a good person, despite what people say. That cat knows. He wants to lie on me. He just wants the body heat, doesn't it? Because when the radiator's on, it lies on that instead of me. So, silicon bog brushes are the future, Joodles. Why are we talking about bog brushes? I missed one. Alan, Orange is the New Black TV series was about Piper Chapman, who turned her life around and got involved in prison reform. What do I've missed something. That's a close-up of a bog brush. Because it's got potato in it. What have you been eating, Chris? Damn, M's missed it by that much. What's M's been saying? I missed that as well. Oh, no, I could see one eye higher up here. Watching a man read a thing. Save money on bog brushes by simply using hands. Or spend money and don't use your hands. I'm full of good ideas. A drunk woman bared her bum and privates at neighbours during a rant in her garden. I've read the story. It doesn't tell you where, because I wondered if we had the address I just make sure I don't go anywhere, because sometimes I'm driving all over the country, and if I'm performing anywhere nearby, I wanted to make sure I didn't go by and shout things. Yvonne Merriman, I bet there were, also hurled abuse and hit herself in the face. It gets less sexy then, but, you know, mantelpiece fire, all of that. So, I've never thought of winning a row by doing that. If you've got beef with your neighbours, don't show them your beef. Well, we all know the end of that sentence, don't we? This one. Ex-Pres Maduro in court. Ex-Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife appeared in a New York court. And I know what you're thinking, Steve, are you finally doing some serious piece of satire about a geopolitical issue in the modern day world? Or are you going to find some dumbass tangent to go off on where you get to rant about some weird skewed take on it? That one. Isn't it time we stop doing the drawings like this? With AI being a thing, why have you got to make it look like he's appearing in court in the Beano? Could we not, of all of the jobs that need to be replaced by AI, like I could go on Grok right now and ask for a picture of Maduro wearing some Dr. Dre beats. I'm not sure what he's doing there. Listening to music, listening to I'm Tired by Stephen Allen, available on most streaming platforms right now, and it would look better than that guff. Can we not do that? If Dennis the Menace goes to court, I'll let you have it. But till then... Polanski, boobs revealed by blogs. Which blog? Is it of the woman who rows with her neighbours? She's got beef. Green Party leader Zach Polanski has admitted publicity from his breast-enlarging hypnotherapy claims helped his business despite alleging the Sun misrepresented him. That's probably from the Sun, I guess. It doesn't work. I don't think hypnotherapy can give you larger bosoms, but... Oh, yeah, our story, it must be the Sun. I suppose you could... He apparently, in 2013, a reporter who said afterwards that her boobs went from 23A to 26B, And that's quite a few extra places down the corridor, isn't it? That's a different hotel room altogether. But that was a shock for all involved. I suppose if you're uncomfortable with your bosom size, it's entirely possible to be hypnotized so that you will just feel that they're bigger. But wouldn't it be better to hypnotize men so that men think they're bigger? Because then it really feels like win-win. Do you know what I mean? There's no downside to that. There's no victim in this crime. If we were all just hypnotized to find them all better, no one has to get surgery anymore. No one, and everyone's happy. Everyone's happy. Proper Meme says she was a beef curtain twitcher. A reminder that Maduro is Spanish for ripe. Nicholas Ripe. Ooh. You don't really get that as a surname in this country, do we? We don't have the anglicised Mr. and Mrs. Ripe. Mr. and Mrs. Plump. Lolbino, how very dare you. He looks like Richard Osman. Maybe it was. Do you know what I mean? If you go on AI and say, give me like an older Richard Osmond, shorter, older, looks like he's more been in charge of Venezuela for a while, in court, it would be a better picture. Maduro the Minx, streaky bacon, exactly. I had beef with my neighbour, but I won because theirs wasn't stroganoff. Stroganoff. Augmentation mooning kind of makes sense, but whacking yourself in the face is right. Hitting yourself in the face, they're not going to mind. And showing off your boobies and your other business, I don't feel like it's a punishment. I've not seen them, so fair enough. When I used to hear Christo on another station, it used to be on before Christo, comic George Schufman was probably more funny than ex-con. Very blunt. I can only guess what he said about the convicts. Fair enough. Their M's saying they're the next merch after Desnuts. What have we talked about? It's all been foul, so it could be any of them, couldn't it? Mr. and Mrs. Ripe, I sent you a Desnuts promo pic, did you? Is it in there now? We don't have long to hang around here. Hang on. Issue closed from the people the management company. Nice. I've not got to. Oh, it's just arrived. It's just arrived. No way. That's okay. I will load this in. Remember, this is the thoughts and AI work of Proper Memes. This is not necessarily how I had imagined the Death Nuts to go. But this, if people will buy it, then I will definitely try and flog it. Just need to refresh. There we are. No, I'll go this way. I'm dragging the wrong thing. Uh-oh, I've dragged something. Undo. Is that what you wanted? Do you want to buy some of those? I can get that made. I mean, we could look into that. Would that put you off your coffee? We'll open up a merch shop at some stage. Hang on. Right, let's crack on. I've got to be on the radio later on. I've got stuff to do. I've definitely dragged something across that I shouldn't. C3PO sells for 801k. Star Wars C3PO head has sold. Yeah, we got that. A light-up prop from the 1980 sci-fi epic The Empire Strikes Back is the only known example of the robot humanoid's head from the second film to appear on the collector's market. Now's the time to buy them because you could slap an Alexa in there, can you? I know at the moment you can't train them to do different voices, but it won't be long. You could spend all the time making it do Master Luke. I have one of these. And this is another piece of merch. If we could you can get my voice trained up on whatever. You could have me speaking to you. Also, if I could, I'd like my smoke alarms to say, "Warning, Will Robinson." But it's probably frowned upon. Me going like, "No, listen, it's the thing from the Lost in Space." While we're all burning to death. It's probably not what they allow. Auntie, a 1.5k slur. A health assistant has won her near £1,500 payout over a colleague repeatedly calling her auntie. Please call me that. I will willingly be called auntie for that much money. How is that an insult now? If the A was a C, I'd give you that. I still think 1.5k is a bit rich. I would willingly take that money. For the amount of names I get called and the amount of money that appears in Ko-fi, she's doing better than I am. This great big stupid aunt over here. OMG, talking desk nuts. I think you're onto something. Morning, Will Young. Yep. Morning, Will Young. No, that's... I interviewed him once and we did not get on, me and Will Young. I'm sure it's not held him back. We need to catch up with this one. Chapel Roan. Guards, law, girl, regret. Chapel Roan. We covered this last time. Apparently one of her security upset Jude Law's daughter. And somehow that was a reason to show the picture of her in that dress. Very much. I mean, look, it might be sexy, but you would not let her hang your shower curtain. Do you know what I mean? There is no way 2 hooks was the appropriate support for what was going on there. We all know the picture. I'm not going to find it again. A security guard has taken full responsibility for an incident that made Jude Law's daughter cry. Of course they have. These people are trained to literally take a bullet for you. So I imagine they're more than willing to say, oh, yeah, sorry. I did that. We learn nothing. I think our bigger upset is given that Jude Law's daughter is called Ada, so her initial is A, the headline should have been, I fought a law and a law won. But they did not go with that. Balls. Cloning pioneer display. Oh, there you go. The cloned sheep that helped pave the way for Dolly. I thought Dolly was the first one. We were lied to. Is on show at a Rural Life Museum. Morag and her identical twin Megan were the first mammals to be successfully cloned from the same embryo. But I thought Dolly was the... Maybe we sold an absolute pup on that. Well, not that it was a pup, it was a sheep. Their births in June 1995 were hailed as a technical breakthrough and made the birth of Dolly the following year possible. Is it also possible that this has been the biggest con in history and sheep kind of all look the same? And I don't want to be sheepist. I don't want to be ovinist or whatever it is. Ovi, which one are they? Ovine, aren't they? They, why bother cloning something that's already pretty much of a muchness? Clone something with a bit more diversity, you know what I mean? Well, different stripes, all that like stuff. You don't even get stripy sheep. You pick the one animal you don't get stripy on. And finally, Spoons Airport Double. Weatherspoons has announced plans to open another 2 pubs in Spain, both in the same airport. Yeah, I suppose it's getting that sense of, what's it called? When you get, I don't know, I've not even been drinking. The part of the country, the consulate, or whatever it is technically like the soil of the other thing. It's like that, isn't it? The airport is the least actually Spanish of all the land in Spain. Therefore, I suppose. But, I don't know, it feels like, Ovine, thanks, Martin. If you are, that's a nighttime drink, isn't it? Whenever people talk about integration, people will throw back, yeah. Well, what about all the Brits who go to Spain and just live in a little enclave and don't learn to speak Spanish? I would throw them under the bus straight away. Yeah, man. I'd have internment camps for them. I don't give 2 flips. If the payoff was we could actually have a proper discussion about integration into British society and people who'd moved out to Spain, oh, well, some tough boobs for you there, my friend. Yeah. And I say this as someone who does voiceovers for some Spanish radio stations still. If ever you're out there in the English-speaking areas, you might get me saying, the nightclub just down the road from Las Plazas. They have to send over the pronunciation guide. I'll give you that. They might even edit that somehow. But if ever you get an advert when you're over there going, for a great night out, why not visit Las Plazas? And I would willingly give up that barely paid job so that we could throw these people under the bus and have a better nation for it. Yeah? No, it's turning into one of these.
Daily Rant.
So, thanks for your comments. We've nearly done. Frank Oz did the voice of Yoda. He did the voice of Miss Piggy in the Muppet Show. Yes, he did, Alan. But also, I think it's true that Frank Oz was like the stand-in voice, and then they thought, actually, no, this is great. We'll just do that. We're going to get someone else to do it eventually, and they were like, nah, let's just go with it. Putting the verb at the end like a German. Talking desk nuts is my what 3 words address, says Martin. Every time. I want to hear the Will Young story now. We all blamed Simon for being unreasonable. I will tell you that at some point. Biggest clon in history. I don't have long, but I will Google it. I mean, it could be a typo. Clon definition. Clon. A clon. Now, I was thinking it was going to be the kind of thing that woman flashes at her neighbours to settle some dispute over the Leylandi, but it's a cell or group of cells that is genetically identical from its original. So actually it is like the smaller version of a clone. In biology, a clone refers to a population of genetically identical cells, whereas a clone, I don't know what that is. That's a Star Wars thing. No wonder you're talking about Yoda. Better wrap up some of these. Difficult when driving through Wales. Well, it's worth trying. I was in Alicante Spoons last month. It was cheap. Is that just down the road from Lethpath? Jewel says your H is in the wrong place. Pedantic grammar. What? So when I'm in Spain, says Charlotte, I'll listen out for your voice, Steve. Please do. I'll also just watch this show. We are international. It's dyslexia, but spelt wrong, says Proper Memes. Like a German. The famous Madonna follow-up tune. Din, 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 din. No, that's Michael Jackson. Why we play Michael Jackson songs? Dun, 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 dun. Well, she was more like a beauty queen from... Why are we talking about Michael Jackson again? Steve, I'll reuse a setup whenever possible. Good on you. Left-handed pianist. How dare you? Yep, I think we're up to date. Same notes then, but if you change the order, you go from Michael Jackson to Huey Lewis. Of course, Michael Jackson and Huey Lewis have one thing in common. They were both in the news, but for very different reasons. Come on! Non-Stick Nick says, that's bad, Steve. Damn it, I was trying, though. Trying. Nothing wrong with lefties. If I were a left-handed, I'd think I'd be making less of a mess on the keyboard. Like a German, D, D, E minor. Like a German, touched for the very first time. Like a German, let your heart beat next to mine. I've no idea. You're sailing close to 1 p.m. Christ! Thanks for that. We're out of here. Thankfully, we can do a quick hit on this.
Here are the plugs where you can see Stephen all this week.
Here you go. But plugs. Friday, 1 p.m. talk in a sec. And then Kingston tonight. And then that's it. But no shows on Tuesday because I'm off taking the kids up north to go to, and that's my name, to show the kids what it's like when you come from the Midlands. I'm sure they'll never want to go back, but there we go. You're up to date. Thank you. You're not a salmon. Right. So, I'll be over on Talk TV in a second, and then that's about it, really. Track me down on social media at Mr. Stephen Allen. Have a look at ko-fi.com/Mr. Stephen Allen to throw £1 in my general direction. I will tell you, it's £2.50 for cream eggs. Just saying that. Just saying that. It guarantees I'm getting nothing from Brit now, doesn't it? Oh, we're falling out by this. Big shout out to my fellow Molly Dukes. Okay, one of us has had a stroke, and I'm worrying it might be me. Substack, I'll try and still write stuff when I'm away. Substack.com/@Mr. Stephen Allen, and that might be it. Comment, click, like, do all those things. And until next time.
Here comes the news with a twist and a grin. Stephen Allen diving in again.
Britain is in the
Almost daily, but always sharp. He'll hit your brain like a lightning spark. Stephen Allen, almost daily. Laughs and facts, served up plainly. Your dose of wit, it's never shady. Stephen Allen, almost daily.
Just round the corner from